Good afternoon, everyone. Our next panel, From Reaching Fans to Reaching the Senate, The Power of a Song, is about to begin, so I will hand it over to Pat.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our amazing panel. We're here today to talk about an incredible piece of work, a piece of me for KPN, the Netherlands' largest telco. It's a piece of work that's already doing very, very well at the festival, and we're optimistic it will do even better. But we don't love it just because it's winning awards, although that is very, very lovely. We love it because it's driving change. It's changing attitudes, it's changing behaviour, and incredibly, it helped change the law in the Netherlands. It's a gut-wrenching, incredibly emotive piece of work, but don't take my word for it. Let's have a look at the film.
33% of teens engage in sexting.
Sexting is a normal and healthy part of sexual development of youngsters in this digital age.
But 1 in 100 teens fall victim to online shaming.
Uitgescholden voor hoer, slet.
Op dat moment zag ik het leven niet meer zitten.
Dutch telecom company KPN wants the internet to be safe for everyone. To reach Gen Z, we collaborated with the biggest singer-songwriter in the Netherlands, Meau, and wrote A Piece of Me, a song and music video based on heart-wrenching real stories. The film shows how forwarding without consent can ruin someone's life and shifts the perspective of blaming the victim to those who press forward. Within a week, the song trended on YouTube and Spotify. It even passed Beyoncé on the charts. Sparking the largest ever nationwide debate about online shaming.
Daarom heel belangrijk is dat we zeggen van hey, stuur gewoon nooit iets door, want daar begint het probleem.
Alsjeblieft, denk na voordat je iets doorstuurt. Denk na voor je doorstuurt.
The film became part of the conversation in Parliament.
KPN is samenwerking met zangeres Meau, die ons met de neus op de feiten drukt.
And a month after release, a law was passed that makes online shaming part of the Sexual Crimes Act. Hundreds of schools now use A Piece of Me in class, turning our music video into education. But that's not all.
The UK version of the song called Piece of Me is about to be released.
A Dutch campaign now turns into a global mission.
Woo! Thank you. So I'm joined today by two of the key architects of that campaign, Dave Frauenfelder, Chief Marketing Officer for KPN, our very own Boris Nihom, CEO of Dentsu Creative in the Netherlands, and Grace Cow from Spotify to join us to talk about the incredible power of music. Dave, I'm going to come to you first. It's such a bold move for a major telecom brand to take a really powerful stance on what happens on your platform. How did it happen?
But how did it all happen? Yeah, it is a story about a brand which is 130 years old and all about connecting people in a safe way. The brand is really trustworthy, high quality, really reliable, but also like real functional in a way. And our base communication is all about propositions, and it's decent and it's working, and we are growing as a company. It's pretty nice. But on the other side, KPN is also have a lot of initiatives on making society help forward, to move forward. But it's not something that we talk about often. And we also see the downside of internet. So the internet brings a lot of great things, right? But the downside is that we see our kids nowadays, and there are a lot of problems on the platforms. And well, we wanted to have an emotional campaign on the internet and not a functional campaign on the internet. So that's why we ask our partner Dentsu Creative to think along with us and build this project. It's more than a campaign, actually.
Absolutely. And Boris, it's an unconventional response to an unconventional brief. What made you realise that music and culture were the way to tackle such a sensitive issue?
Yeah, that's a great question. Look, when you get a brief like this, that is not just a question about a one-off campaign, but a question for a true brand and even company transformation, you need to trust that with the ultimate humility and the ultimate respect for such a sensitive topic. So right from the start, we realized that our goal was not to just write a nice message, make a film, air it, and hope it would do something, but really do this in a way that connects genuinely both to Gen Z as well as their parents. And that's when we realized that, you know, music has the power to connect generations, and we wanted to not follow the advertising playbook, but basically follow the music playbook. And in a way, you could see this as a piece of art that was sponsored by KPN rather than a KPN campaign in the traditional sense of the word.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've talked about how important it was to take that issue out of the sort of dark and sinister places of the internet into that bright light of popular culture and have that conversation. Grace, talk to us about why Spotify is such a great platform for that conversation.
Well, one, thank you so much for even letting me sit on the stage with you. It's so impressive and such a touching piece of work. I think for us, what we've seen on Spotify is that we are an extremely positive environment. Quite honestly, people, regardless of what age you are, come on our platform to escape social media, right? Because it's a place where people come to relax, to energize, to inspire themselves, and actually to heal. And so I think when we look at Spotify, we've seen people say that they're actually happier on Spotify. So I thought it was such a great platform to tell the story. And also we know from just back from the history of time, music has always been a powerful storytelling medium because in many ways it's so universal and so emotional.
Absolutely. And Dave, I'm going to come back to you to talk about impact, because this campaign worked in all the ways you'd hope, but also some really unexpected benefits as well.
I think we were completely amazed about the impact that it had on society, but also on all the employees of KPN. You see an enormous level of being proud of KPN for all employees. So also our engagements internally is going through the roof. But besides that, we did it because we want to create awareness and bring generations and bring them together. So awareness was our primary goal, and we reached that like far over our KPIs on that point. So for both Gen Z, also the parents, but actually across all age groups, we see that we've reached so many people, and now it's going abroad. It's a universal problem, and music and the power of music and the power of the video clip as well, it really helps to get that message across and to get the conversation starting. So we're really proud that we started to push this movement forward. And for us, it's just our first move. We are not done yet. So we're there's more to come on this project and on the rest on Better Internet.
Yeah, and one of my favourite stories was that your staff now find people come up to them if they're wearing a KPN badge and they're on the tram or they're moving through the city. People come up and say, "Amazing! I'm so proud of what you've done." And they used to say, "Hey, why is my broadband, not working?"
Actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
A huge.
Yeah, that's amazing, right? If you on a party in Holland, like a birthday party, you all sit in a circle. That's a Dutch tradition. And you work with KPN, then normally you get if there's a problem, your Wi-Fi is not working, or you just install. And now people will just come to us spontaneously and say, "Wow, what you did was so impactful. I'm discussing it with my kids or teachers at school, or it travels so many miles. It's amazing, really."
Yeah. And Boris, why do you think it struck such a chord with everyone?
Yeah, that's always easy in hindsight. But I think in this case it was really also part of the plan. And the reason is that we started by listening and not by talking. I think what really drove this campaign is that, first of all, we uncovered the insights among Gen Z to make sure that we were spot on relevant through creating the first live talk show on TikTok, where we talk not about Gen Z, but with Gen Z about these topics that touch them. But also the way the song was created, Meau did interviews with victims of online shaming and literally used their stories in her lyrics. And so every step of the way, also working together with our societal partners, with NGOs that are experts on the topic, we made sure that it wasn't our story that we were telling, but that it was the story of the issue, thereby making bringing the issue into the light. Because the big problem is that, sending the picture isn't the problem. The problem is the shame that comes with it. And by bringing the story into the light and giving people a way to talk about it with their friends, with their parents, at the dinner table, you immediately take away part of the shame. And I think by doing that, in a weird way, although it was just an awareness campaign, creating that awareness itself helped to directly solve the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how you talk about the conversation in itself was therapeutic, it was healing, it was so important. And Grace, we talked a little bit about why music is so good for prompting what can be a really awkward conversation between the generations. What is it about music that does that so much better?
Yeah, I didn't see that as an awareness campaign at all. I very much felt like it was a conversation. And I think that's the thing, is music in itself is a language, right? Like I think if you think back when you are a baby in a womb, the first thing you hear is your mother's heartbeat, right? So even sound connects you to a mother and child. You think about, I guess in the US, we learn our A, B, C, Ds. We actually remember through song, and we actually teach through song. And so I think what was so great is music is a song is currency, not only between same generation, but cross generation. You look at any Taylor Swift concert, and it's all parents and their kids. Do you speak Taylor Swift? Do you speak Taylor Swift? So I think that was what I thought was so brilliant about the campaign, is finding something that was cross-generational, universal, and really leading with something that everyone can find a common place to meet.
I love that you're saying that, by the way, because that's a fun thing about these panels, right? You learn new things about your own case. So basically you're saying music can be therapeutic in and of itself.
Yes.
I think that's something we almost didn't realize when we work on it. We should have put that in the case. We could have got the Music Grand Prix, but
Next time.
next time.
And we've talked about some of the results. Something we haven't touched on yet is we actually also received a Gold Streaming Award from Spotify. And it is not every day you get to...
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. You get to change the law and have a gold hit record. I mean, that is...
I think the record, we just looked it up this morning, is over 15 million times in Holland.
Yes.
And for the people who don't know, we are like 17 million people only living in Holland. So
incredible.
It's really amazing. And every time I hear the campaign, or I hear the song on the radio, or I play it myself on Spotify. But even I came across walking on the street a couple of times. It already happened that people were singing the song.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, you can imagine.
They remember.
Cannot describe that feeling that you're feeling then at that moment, but it makes you so proud of. You see, really, literally connecting generations through the power of music. So that's
not
awesome.
just recall, but resonance, right? It resonates. Yeah. Congratulations.
Absolutely. And I think there are like 500 cover versions of the track already. It's really struck an incredible chord.
Yeah, it's when do people organically recreate advertising, right? That doesn't happen a lot. And I think that's by taking a pop culture approach, it didn't feel like advertising. It felt like something people engage with normally and do the things they normally do, make cover versions, talk about it, those kind of things. And that's powerful about the approach.
Right. And Dave, you touched on the fact that the Netherlands has a population of about 17 million, and I think this campaign reached most of them. But you're not stopping in the Netherlands, are you? What's next for better internet? What's next for A Piece of Me?
So for A Piece of Me, I think there's still a lot of things for us to do this year. So together with the NGO partners, we are visiting schools. We're doing online parent nights. So we have a conversation with parents as well. So there's still a lot more to come. Of course, we will rerun the campaign ourselves. most of the reach was done organically, which is amazing. So we only like after 9 or 10 days turned on our paid media advertising to really give it another push. But we will do it again because we still a lot of potential to rerun the campaign. So that's something we will do. But for next year, I think we are working on some really great stuff together. There's still, unfortunately, a lot of things that have to be solved on the internet. So it leaves a lot of space also to see what's the next issue we actually can change. And now we know that for a fact that we can actually make a difference there. So we are putting all our creative efforts into it, making sure that for next year we're even going to push the bar even further, and this really stimulate us to take it to the next level.
Exciting. And Boris, what's next for DC Amsterdam and KPN? Are you going to be back next year at the Palais?
Yeah, we absolutely hope so. Like Dave says, there's still a lot of internet issues that need to be solved. When the first time we presented Better Internet as a platform idea, our goal has always been to turn this into a long-term transformational program. I don't believe in these kind of things being a one-off. Also because you can only do this if the whole organization rallies behind it, and the whole organization only rallies behind it if there's a longer-term thing in play. So that's amazing. And of course, Dentsu Labs launching in Amsterdam is the other big thing that we're going to work on the coming time.
Super exciting.
Yes.
So tell me, the effects of this campaign have been mind-blowing. One of the things that struck me was victims of online shaming use these lyrics when they're testifying in court. It's just had this extraordinary ability to give people a voice. What's the single thing you're proudest of? If you look at all the great stories and all the effects, what makes you proudest?
Who's going to go first? But I think just thinking of one is really difficult. You know that, because it's there's a lot of great things in the campaign itself, but like I think for me the biggest compliment I get was strangely enough, from an employee colleague from us from KPN. When we launched this, I think 1 week before we went live, we decided that we're going to show this to our top 300 of management of KPN. And we showed them the video clip, and you can imagine that, like, if you see the video clip like in a big screen with 300 parents in the room, it will make impact, and it did. So I went with the mic to get some first comments, and one man raised his hand and he said, I'm a father of 2 daughters, and then he really broke. Yeah, I have it already right now. My God. So he started crying, and I was like, no, it's okay. Just say what you want to say. And he said, well, I've been working for KPN for 24 years. And you can all actually know that I want to tell you I want to leave the company, because it's all about growing further and more technical stuff. And then he paused and he said, I see this, and I'm so proud to work at KPN. I want to continue work here, and thank you so much for this. And I was like, wow, it was like, for us it was amazing. We didn't realize that we are also in our company, of course, have a lot of parents, which at first hand you can really hear that story is really touching. Yeah,
so powerful. And this is an exceptional campaign. I mean, it really is extraordinary, but there are lessons for every brand, every marketer. I just love each one of you. Maybe we start with Grace. What's the one lesson that you'd love everyone in the room to take away from this incredible campaign?
I would say that leading with emotion, like I think we talk about a lot in creative conferences and creativity, is just like, what is a feeling that you want someone to feel? And then how do you build stories around that feeling, and how do you use things, whether it's music or video, and put those things together? We're living in a very heavy time right now, and I think that's what I would say. What we see, why people keep listening to music on Spotify, I think people are looking for reprieve, they're looking for positivity. So just being conscious of the emotion, the mood that somebody's in, and how do you put that message in an environment that is so well that the people are ready to receive and easy to share, so you can build community. And I think that's one thing that I think for Spotify we try to do is like, how do you create the best creative environment for brands?
Boris?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the content of the campaign. We did that. The one thing I've learned from this is collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. We work, they say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes more than a village to solve these kind of problems. We worked on this with the entire agency across discipline. We had 5 partner agencies working with us together, production company, media, PR, etc., etc. Every single stakeholder within KPN that had to have a voice in this was on a weekly call all together to make sure every little piece of the puzzle was put in exactly the right place. This campaign could have failed at 500 times during the 1.5 years that we worked on this, and the fact that it didn't was that no single individual let their ego get in the way of the solution. And to me, that is the biggest lesson. We are all super creative. We all have great brands, everyone here in the audience, so everyone can do this. But the thing you need to do is come together and work towards a solution and get your ego out of the way.
You're absolutely right. And yeah, definitely. And what I want to add to that is you have to be humble all the time. So it's not about you, it's not about the brand, it's about putting all your efforts, all your energy, all your creativity and power to actually do something for society. So listen to the target audience, listen to the experts, and put yourself into service of serving that goal. And then the rest will follow by itself. So no need to put logos everywhere, or don't do it. Just make sure that the piece works for the audience, and then the rest will follow.
That's wonderful. I think, round of applause.
Yes.
Definitely.
Preach.
I think that's been one of the themes of the festival, if people have had time to walk around, is the power of collaboration and cooperation over competition. And I think what's really struck me about this campaign is not just that it was collaborative and it was co-created, but it struck exactly the right balance of bravery and care. So an incredibly brave topic, but absolute care and caution in how it treated the young people that it collaborated and co-created with. They were taken care of at every single stage of the journey. And I think if there's one thought for all of us that we can all take away, Dave has this wonderful expression: ask your children, how was your day online? Not just how was your day, but we can ask everyone that. We all live online, so let's make sure the end of the day you're asking your kids, your friends, your family, how was your day online, and we can make the web a better place. So thank you so much to this incredible panel.
Thank you. Thanks everyone
Thank
for
you
coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you all for your time and attention, and we're going to leave you with the full, beautiful, brilliant music video, which I think there'll be more tears, right? There are tears every time. So let's bring the tears.
I'm just going to watch the audience.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, sorry.
It's getting late and I wish I could sleep, but I can't stop the thoughts spinning round in my head. Question my feelings, I search for a reason. Wonder if you feel that weight on your chest. Wait till darkness turns to daylight. Lonely silence through the cold night. Fight my fears by closing my eyes. Everything is still. I gave you a piece of my soul. You said you would keep it, so where did it go? You broke it to pieces, that piece of my soul. You couldn't resist, are you sorry at all? How did trust turn to betrayal? Why am I left feeling broke it to pieces, that piece of my soul. You said you would keep it, so why did I lose it all? Now there's a scar, so I'll always remember. I'm left with the pain of you letting me down. I walk through the halls and I hear all the whispers, feeling them stare with my eyes to the ground. Wait till daylight turns to darkness. There's no ending what you've started. How do I turn down the voices, make the whole world still? I gave you a piece of my soul. You said you would keep it, so where did it go? You broke it to pieces, that piece of my soul. You couldn't resist, are you sorry at all? How did trust turn to betrayal? Why am I left feeling shameful? You broke it to pieces, that piece of my soul. You said you would keep it, so why did I lose it all? Oh, and it isn't fair that you'll never take the fall. Oh no, because no one cares if this is all your fault. And why don't you see all of the suffering and pain that you have caused? I gave you a piece of my soul. You said you would keep it, so where did it go? You broke it to pieces, that piece of my soul. You couldn't resist, are you sorry at all? How did trust turn to betrayal? Why am I left feeling shameful? You broke it to pieces, that piece of my soul. You said you would keep it, so why did I lose it all?
Hij ziet toch tot daar.